Tracking Hurricane Sally, the storm still churning over the warm Gulf waters. Some residents could be dealing with feet of rain.
Well, good morning, everybody. 4 a.m. right now on this midweek, Wednesday, September 16th. I'm Michael Gargiulo.
I'm Darlene Rodriguez. Lauren Scala's tracking roads and rails. Storm Team 4's Maria LaRosa is here with the weather headlines. Good morning.
Good morning. Another pretty quiet start to the morning, and we have temperatures once again, a few 30s and 40s on the map. I'll start there with Claryville at 39 degrees right now. We're at 45 in New Paltz and 44 in Poughkeepsie, with Mount Kisco at 50 degrees. We're sitting at 57. Central Park 55 in Merrick, and Bridgeport at 56 under fair skies. So it's another one where we'll get some sunshine in there. It will be filtered sunshine. All the talk about the smoke in the air, that's not changing today. So it'll have that sort of milky beige color to it, right? 69 degrees at noontime, 72 by 5 p.m. So a little bit warmer than yesterday. And then clear skies, 68 degrees by 10 p.m. That's a quick look at Wednesday's weather. Let's get you traffic now. What's going on, Lauren?
Not too much out there, Maria. Good morning, but there is construction. So we'll head over to the Staten Island Expressway. We're westbound. Once again, you have some road work that's between Slauson Avenue and Western Avenue, with some minor delays here heading towards the Goethals Bridge. Then heading over to the Throgsneck Bridge, you could see some construction out there in both directions. So minor delays on both sides of the span. You could always head to the Whitestone Bridge instead. Darlene, back to you.
Okay, Lauren. And we have temperatures once again, a few 30s and 40s on the map. I'll start there with Claryville at 39 degrees right now. We're at 45 in New Paltz and 44 in Poughkeepsie, with Mount Kisco at 50 degrees. We're sitting at 57. Central Park 55 in Merrick, and Bridgeport at 56 under fair skies. So it's another one where we'll get some sunshine in there. It will be filtered sunshine. All the talk about the smoke in the air, that's not changing today. So it'll have that sort of milky beige color to it, right? 69 degrees at noontime, 72 by 5 p.m. So a little bit warmer than yesterday. And then clear skies, 68 degrees by 10 p.m. That's a quick look at Good morning. Yes, I want to quickly start on Sally. As you can see, it's still not moving very quickly to the north at about 2 miles per hour, but that heaviest rain band beginning to move on shore. There's Mobile. A buoy just about 70 miles southeast of Mobile reported a sustained hurricane force wind. So we are getting closer and closer. But as you can imagine, with the heavy rain bands moving at 2 miles per hour, we can get 30 inches of rainfall. So I have more on the track and where it's headed next. For us, it is quiet again this morning. Right now, 57 at Central Park. We have temperatures climbing up near 70 by noontime. It'll be a hazy, smoky, sunny day again today. 74 degrees for the high, 72 in Bridgeport, 70 in Monticello. With that smoke, though, there is an opportunity to see it get swept away with a front. That's our next opportunity for some showers, as you can see, by late tomorrow into Friday. I'll continue to time that out and talk about the weekend ahead, along with the tropics, all in the 10-day.
Okay, Maria, thank you. And
Wife.
As a reminder, no subway service until 5 a.m. They are still being cleaned, so a little bit longer with that. You can take the buses. Just remember your Metro card. Heading over to the major commuter rail lines, Metro North, LIRR, NJ Transit Path. No delays or service changes right now, and we'll take a live look outside at the roads. Here's the Gowanus.
Then the jack gives way.
I mean, that's incredible. Lucky somebody was there to help them out. Great work there. All right, it's 4:14 right now. Let's say good morning to Maria LaRosa. Looking at the weather, as Michael pointed out, it's in the 50s.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes. This is one of our last cooler mornings, at least this week. Wait till you see some of the low temperatures for the weekend. That's a tease, right? But looking out right now, it is pleasant. We have fair skies, still a bit of a haze, which you can't really see right now, obviously, but it's there. 57 at Central Park right now. That dew point at 50, so still comfortably dry, light south-southwest wind currently. But where are we headed from here? Well, we've had a stretch of dry weather, but you watch the timestamp, and by tomorrow we start to see the clouds begin to roll in along with that haze, followed by some showers, but not everywhere. This is with a front. I'll show you the best chance. Seems to be kind of like that I-95 corridor into the south. So from Ocean County, Monmouth County, even the eastern end of Long Island, we're looking at that better chance to see some of the rain as temperatures climb back up into the mid and upper 70s. Then you see that rapid clearing. There's the back edge of the front, and our temperatures take a dip by Friday night. So that's our chance to see some rain. Believe it or not, it looks like for quite a long time. What we will continue to see over the next day or two, of course, the smoke. So today, once again, it'll be that sort of milky haze, that sort of beige color to the sky. And then eventually with that front, we begin to see the smoke clear out of our area, at least for now, until perhaps another batch moves in. But what's interesting, too, is you see it stretched out into the Atlantic. The batch that we have in our area right now will cross the Atlantic, and they'll start to see some of that smoky sky in parts of Europe. So, again, we're all connected there. Amazing. So 74 today after a cool start, warming up just a little bit compared to yesterday. 62 overnight, not as cool as we start to see some of those clouds move in, and a southwest wind about 10 to 15. All right, the tropics, again, still quite busy, but we're going to focus on Sally right now. Imminent landfall, it certainly looks that way, but it's still really slow moving. A Category 2 storm, 105-mile-per-hour max winds, and we're starting to see some buoys that are getting.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. If you're getting on the roads, there are a couple of slowdowns due to construction. This is a live look at the Staten Island Expressway. We're westbound heading towards the West Shore Expressway. You have construction. You can see just that center lane gets by between the cones. So because it's single laning, it's a little slow going. Then heading over to the Bronx River Parkway, you do have construction out there in both directions, just north of the Cross County. Right now, the northbound delay is a little bit worse than the southbound delay, but as the morning goes on, southbound on from the Springbrook Parkway into this area starts to build, so I'll let you know when that happens. Over on the New Jersey Turnpike, the eastern spur is closed northbound from where it begins up to 16E, which is the Lincoln Tunnel exit. You could see some minor delays. You also have the inbound side of the Holland Tunnel closed until 5 a.m., so something to keep in mind. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect this week, so make sure you move your car the last day listed on the sign. Michael, back to you.
Warren, thanks very much. It is coming up on 4
to 7. Lauren knows this place.
Yeah,
this is a place that she's been to a bunch of times. I think you've brought us meatballs from there,
right?
And they're spectacular.
Awesome. Yeah,
it's the size of a softball.
It's pretty much that, and worth it.
They're small. They're not. They're good though. But we'll see. Beyond Meat. These are plant-based meatballs.
Yeah,
they're good. I actually,
Beyond Meat's good.
The only way people get me to eat stuff is by telling me it's something else.
Right, like you're 7 years old.
Right.
It's on it. It's on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dress it up a little bit. All right, maybe you're grabbing that breakfast, guys, this morning, or a nice
cup of warm coffee. We've got quiet conditions right now in Sydney from Staten Island and the Staten Island Expressway. Still going to be quiet and dry through the midday, sunny, but it's still smoky. 69 degrees at noontime and a little warmer than yesterday, but still with fair skies for the evening, 71 degrees by about 6 p.m. Not quite as chilly tomorrow morning with some clouds moving in. We'll be down into the low 60s as opposed to the low and mid 50s. And that's a look at your weather. Let's get back to traffic now. And Lauren. Thanks, Maria. Good morning. Not too much to tell you about. Subway service overnight still being cleaned, so service will resume at 5 a.m. Then heading over to the major commuter rail lines, there is overnight track work out there. Most of it wrapped up already. So Metro North, LIRR, Indeed Transit, and PATH all running on or close to schedule. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
All right, well, we have more commuter news going on because Boston Subway.
69 degrees at noontime, 72, just a little bit warmer than yesterday afternoon at 5 p.m. And we'll see fair skies, 68 degrees by 10 o'clock. That's your weather. Let's get traffic now, and here's Lauren.
Thanks, Maria. Good morning. There's not much of it out there, which is always good news at this hour. So you can see lots of green on the maps. If you are getting on the New Jersey Turnpike northbound, that eastern spur is still closed for a little bit longer from where it begins all the way to 16E, which is the Lincoln Tunnel exit. The Holland Tunnel inbound is still closed with construction. That will reopen at 5 a.m. And heading over to the Staten Island Expressway westbound, you have that road work heading towards the West Shore Expressway. So just one lane gets by. It's just a little slow going. Darlene, back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Lauren. Now to
still no subway service. The cleaning still taking place, so service will resume in about 20 minutes at 5 a.m. And if you're getting on the major commuter rail lines, most are running on or close to schedule. LIRR actually still does have some track work out there, so you could see some possible delays, but not terrible. And we'll take a live look outside at the Queens Midtown Tunnel or the
system. There's where J is, just to give you some perspective. Hurricane force winds extend out about 40 miles from the center, so you can see where approximately that might get you, but also tropical storm force winds at 125 miles. So relatively speaking, it is a small core of those hurricane force winds, but slow moving again is a whole different story. There they are, 105-mile-per-hour maximum winds. That makes it a Category 2. It's still moving really, really slowly. We get another full update in just a few minutes. I'll bring that latest to you as soon as it comes in, but likely to make landfall later today, and then it gets picked up by a front that keeps it well to our south, by the way. But that's where all of the heavy rain will stay, and it is going to be heavy. We're still expecting feet of rain across Alabama, even into Georgia potentially. But the tropics remain active. We'll keep an eye on Teddy. This could become the next major hurricane, and Bermuda has to be on alert by early next week, by the way. And that area to watch at this point, still just an area to watch, but that could be Wilfred, so we'll watch that too. Closer to home, it's all about the fair skies right now, 57 degrees, similar to yesterday. Still pretty dry, but that dew point up just a little bit. I think the big talker for us has definitely been the smoky skies. Let's take you back to yesterday afternoon in Ulster County. And this is what we had across the area, that sort of burning looking sunshine and that sort of beige brown color to the air. Smoke still an issue for us in the air, but you can see by Friday that begins to push away out of the area. That's with the front. That comes along with our next chance for a few showers as well. So today it stays dry, 74, still some hazy sunshine. Not quite as chilly overnight tonight. We'll get down to 62 degrees with a southwest wind. A few more clouds by tomorrow morning, so we'll call it mostly Let's get you traffic now. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. Not much traffic out there getting in your way. There's definitely some construction, but it's not causing major problems. On 95 northbound through Stamford, you have 2 lanes blocked from exit 7 to 9 this morning. Right now, you have some minor delays getting into exit 7. Over on the Bronx Parkway, you have road work in both directions just north of the Cross County. You could see minor delays in both directions there as well. And then heading over to the Staten Island Expressway, heading westbound, just 1 lane gets by. This is heading towards the West Shore Expressway. Looks like they're starting to wrap it up, though, which is always good news. Over on the Throgs Neck Bridge, you have some delays right now heading towards the Bronx. You could always stick with the Whitestone instead, and alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect, so make sure you move your car the last day listed on the sign. Michael, back to you.
Lauren, thank you very much. In today's CNBC Money Report, some major job cuts.
Has had an interesting life, and you know, from the club scene in New York City downtown to the superstardom that she.
I'm just running through the list of people who might play Madonna.
I know. I'm going to look and.
Lauren's going to play her younger sister, Joni.
She is.
Halsey might be good. You know Halsey?
Halsey, excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Lauren, that was quick.
Yeah. It just came to me. Yeah. Plus she can sing, so
yeah, she can
easy.
sing.
There you go, Maria.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to say 1985, Maria, maybe.
Oh, hey, yes.
You know, I had all the jelly bracelets and I tried the hair. All right, let's get you ready for today. We have fair skies out there right now. A beautiful look from Midtown, the sparkle city lights. It's still a little hazy though. We still have the smoke and issue high above. So with that sunshine, it'll still look smoky. 69 degrees by lunchtime, 71 this evening, so a little warmer than yesterday. Just a big heads up. It's been very rough for coastal areas down the shore. A lot of rescues. Still some rough surf here and a high risk of dangerous rip current. So if you are making it a beach day, it'll be pleasant, sunshine and temps in the 70s. Please be aware of that. Also, high risk of dangerous rip currents for New York Atlantic beaches. That's your weather. Let's get to traffic now. Let's send it over to Lauren.
Thanks, Maria. If you're getting on the roads right now, you're in for a nice heading over to the Verrazano Bridge, you do have the upper level closed in both directions with road work, so you'll be forced to take the lower level. But as you can see by the traffic flows here, that's not causing an issue. And heading over to your commuter checklist, everything's running on or close to schedule, and subway service will be restored in about 5 minutes. Michael, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thanks so much.
There's just construction out there, and it's in Stamford on 95 northbound, so between exits 7 and 9, 2 lanes are blocked. There were some delays. It looks like they've eased out, but I'll let you know if it gets worse. Heads up, it is still out there, though. And then heading over to the Bronx River Parkway, you do have roadwork in both directions just north of the Cross County, so again, minor delays in the area, but otherwise you should be in for a nice ride. Darlene, back to you. Lauren, thanks so much. 501, we are following.
If you are getting on the train, subway service has been restored and your major commuter rail lines look good. There is definitely a lot of construction out there on the roads on 287 northbound in New Jersey right now. You're seeing a bit of a delay getting into exit 10 Easton Avenue. That's road work there, and we'll take a live look outside.
There's not too much going on out there, Maria. Mostly construction, so if you have to drive in New Jersey on 287 Staten Island on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, you still have some road work heading towards the Goethals Bridge, and you do have delays on the Staten Island Expressway eastbound heading into the Verrazano Bridge. In fact, here is a live look at that delay, almost back to Clove Road. Again, that is due to road work at the bridge. Hopefully that'll ease out soon. I'll keep you posted. Heading over to the Throgzek Bridge, Bronx-bound, 2 lanes are blocked with construction. So delays go back onto the Clearview. You can always stick with the Whitestone Bridge instead. And then alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. So make sure you move your car the last day listed on the sign. Michael, back to you.
Okay, Lauren, thank you. The latest now on the
Lauren Scala is here tracking our roads and rails. But first, we do want to check on Storm Team 4's Maria LaRosa. Looking at today's weather headlines, unfortunately, there are really very grim headlines coming from the Gulf Coast.
Yes, I just want to bring everyone up to date with the 5 a.m. advisory in. It is still a Category 2 storm, and as you mentioned, that eye beginning to make its way. It's actually the northern eye wall already on land. It's the center that counts as the landfall, so that may still be a couple hours away, but with 105-mile-per-hour maximum winds, it is going to be rough, to say the least. I'll have more on that coming up. But as you mentioned here, closer to home, it's pretty quiet, a lot like yesterday with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. 57 right now in Central Park. We're down to 44 in Poughkeepsie, 40 in Monticello, with 56 in Merrick, down to 50 degrees right now in Belmar. It is quiet on the plaza right now. I'm showing this to show the flags. Nothing really moving. It is not as breezy as it has been the last day or two, and so we'll be pretty quiet this afternoon. 69 degrees at noontime. We're calling it hazy sunshine, so still sort of that smoky sky. Fair skies, 68 degrees at 10 p.m. after a high of 72. That's your weather. Let's get you traffic now. What's moving there, Lauren?
Well, pretty much everything. That's good news. There's 2 spots right now where I'm seeing a delay. One of them is the Major Deegan southbound. You have a crash after exit 3 east 138th Street, so it's a slow go through there. Then over on the Staten Island Expressway, oh, it's much better. There is construction out there eastbound. You can see it in the HOV lane, but the main roadway now is moving along a little bit better than it was a few minutes ago. It was backed up right here, so just something to keep in mind. That roadwork is still out there by Highland Boulevard. Michael, back to you.
Okay, Lauren, thank you very much. We're following a developing story this morning, a disturbing discovery.
If you are getting on the subways, we we went from delays on the F train to service changes. So the F train is running on the A line right now in both directions between J Street Metro Tech and West 4th Street. That's the only issue on the rails. If you're getting on the roads, there are delays on 287 northbound. You have roadwork between exits 5 and 10 right now, so quite a stretch. It's not at a stop, but you can see it is going, and we'll take a live look outside. A traffic building on the Gowanus.
Park though.
Totally, we could arrange for the employees to like lob a bag of donuts.
I pay extra for that.
Yeah.
All right, gotta work something out.
We welcome them to our early morning schedule.
We do.
May you donut long and successfully.
I like how we covered yesterday that was going to open.
Yes.
This morning it is open.
Yes.
So tomorrow let's talk about how it's still open.
We're committed to important news, Maria.
Right.
Let's not forget there's a Blaze waterfall, because we never miss that detail either.
Amazing, amazing. All right, if you're grabbing the donut and that warm cup of coffee, let's get you going on this Wednesday, and things are rolling at the Cross Bronx. Of course, Lauren's going to have more. It is dry. It is cool. Temperatures in the mid-50s again. Lunchtime right about 69 degrees. Still that hazy sky, though, 71 by later on this afternoon, and it's never too early to take a quick look at the weekend forecast. It will feel like fall. We're waiting on that front coming through. Mid-60s for highs Saturday, waking up to 49 Saturday morning, 66 degrees for the high on Sunday, and then by Sunday night into Monday morning, waking up to 50, so a little bit cool. All right, that's your weather. Let's get you traffic now. And Lauren, what's the latest?
If you're getting on the subways right now, there is a service change. F trains are running on the A line in both directions between J Street and West 4th. You could also see some possible delays on the A train because of this. That's the only issue on the subways. Major commuter rail lines, so far so good, all operating without delays or service changes. Michael, back to you.
Lauren, thanks so much. Well, the world's top golfers, they're just about 24 hours away.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. Not much going on out there. It is extremely quiet on the roads. We'll take a live look at the George Washington Bridge. You do have some construction out there, but it's not causing any kind of delay right now. The inbound lower level is open. Sometimes we see that closed at this hour, but the inbound Holland Tunnel is closed. So keep that in mind if you're headed out to the Hudsons. And alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect today. So Friday is listed on that sign. Make sure you move your car. Darlene, back to you.
Lauren, thank you. Morning commute right now. Here's Lauren Scala.
Thanks, Darlene. LIRR commuters, there are some delays and cancellations because of a broken rail near Hicksville. That's on the Port Jefferson and Ronkonkoma branches. You also have delays on the Hoboken at 33rd Street line for path commuters and delays on Route 8 southbound because of construction in Connecticut. Darlene, back to you.
We'll be right back with Matt Brickman's forecast.
Pandemic. But if you want to get to Key West, you got to get on a plane at some point, I think.
Or a long drive.
Long drive. Even from Miami, it's 3 hours. It's a beautiful drive, though.
There you go.
I do love Key West. The Keys are awesome.
Or you can see the changing leaves, brought to you by Matt Brickman. Who needs to get in the car or plane or anything? I've got it right here. Yeah, we are getting closer.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. Let's talk about mass transit. No subway service out there until 5 a.m. I'll remind you when it gets restored. And if you're getting on the major commuter rail lines, again, so far so good. You just then 20th and 23rd Street stations for passengers closed in the city because of cleaning, but you could always head to 14th Street or 33rd. Darlene and Michael, back to you. Thanks so much, Lauren. 427 right now, still ahead, a rocky road to recovery for city schools.
At this time-lapse video from our Midtown camera, you can see that wall of water moving over the city as storms moved in yesterday. The good news, things are looking and feeling great for the weekend. Storm Team 4's Matt Brickman joins us with more, but we want to...
Love that. If you're getting on the ferries this morning, no anticipated delays right now. Staten Island ferries operating on or close to schedule. The rest will kick off soon. Then heading over to the major commuter rail lines, also running on or close to schedule. LIRR is wrapping up road work on the Port Washington branch, so busing will stop and trains will begin again in just a few minutes. And we'll take a live look outside at the Long
Guest host or a live audience. We're so psyched to have them back.
They did a great job at home.
They've been some pretty funny
They
ones.
were super creative. I mean, you could really see into the minds of some of these people. They were
I think it's going to be great.
Absolutely. All right, welcome back. 4:55 right now. Let's check in with Matt Brickman and Lauren Scala. Matt is in for Maria. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, you know, I normally work Saturday nights.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. If you're getting on the roads, you're really in for a nice ride right now. No real slowdowns. You have a very minor slowdown outbound on the Gowanus getting into the Verrazano Bridge because of construction. But when I say minor, I mean it. Then heading over to the major commuter rail lines, everything's running on or close to schedule, and subway service will be restored in about 5 minutes. So all good news from mass transit as well. Darlene, back to you.
Okay, Lauren, thank you. 4:56 right now. New York Fashion Week kicks off this Sunday. But as with most things this year, the event's going virtual because of the pandemic. Representative.
That's great. All right, coming close to 5 a.m. and just ahead when we get there, why we might not see a second coronavirus bill approved until after the November election.
Plus honoring the victims of 9/11 19 years later.
Lauren's got to look at your morning commute.
And I have a look at what your hair's going to look like if you walk out right now. Really big, because that humidity is not fun. If you are headed out the door right now, you are in for a nice drive. There is a stalled vehicle that just came in eastbound on 78. Out by exit 24, not causing a delay. It's off on the shoulder there. Then heading over to the inbound Howland Tunnel, all lanes reopened, that construction cleared. So once again, you are in for a nice ride and can head into New York. Darlene, over to you. Thanks, Lauren.
Subway service resumed a few moments ago, and your major commuter rail lines are on or close to schedule. If you're headed out on the Gowanus towards the Verrazano Bridge, this is construction that takes out a lane on the ramp. It looks like it's moving along on the ramp, but there are delays on the Gowanus just getting into that shot. We'll take a live look outside at Better News.
Muggles. Warner Brothers is now bottling butterbeer. The beloved drink comes straight from the wizarding world of Harry Potter. But Americans, we may need a little bit of magic to get some because it's only available in the UK. The non-alcoholic drink with distinct butterscotch flavor sells for more than $7.50 a bottle, and it's limited. You can only get a maximum of 3 bottles per purchase. I know when I was with the family at Harry Potter World in Orlando, like the kids went crazy for the butterbeer. It's so fun.
It's delicious,
yes,
too.
It was.
All right, 5:26 right now. Let's check in with Matt and Lauren looking at weather and traffic. It's going to be butterbeer weather soon.
Sure, whatever that means.
Right?
I'm not exactly sure.
That's like, yeah.
Yes, I agree. We have got a muggy start this morning, but this is something that we can count on changing.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. You can still see lots of green on the maps. Most of you are still in for a nice drive. Where the trouble spots are, the Gowanus Expressway ramp to the upper level of the Verrazano Bridge has a lane blocked. So delays are very heavy on the Gowanus getting into the Verrazano. Then heading over to the Cross Island, you still have a crash northbound at the Whitestone Bridge. It looks like delays are easing out just a little bit, but you can see it's still slow going. So stick with the Throgs Neck Bridge or take the Clearview northbound. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
Thanks so much, Lauren.
Just canceled a train or two, so expect possible delays and cancellations. That's around Ronkonkoma branch. I'll keep you updated as we get more. I just saw the first one go out. Again, a broken rail near Hicksville. Otherwise, the trains are fine. Heading over to the roads on the LIE westbound approaching the Van Wyck Expressway, you have an accident here. Delays go back to Francis Lewis Boulevard. You also have delays starting to build westbound on the Grand Central Parkway. Heading into the Kew Gardens interchange, there is construction out there. Speaking of construction, still out there on the ramp from the Gowanus Expressway to the Verrazano Bridge. So you still have a backup into Bay Ridge, really getting into the Verrazano. Very slow going this morning. And if you are getting on the BQE, it's a slow ride heading into the Brooklyn Bridge. So both sides there in the Brooklyn on the BQE and Gowanus are slow going. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. So if it says Friday on the sign, make sure you move your car. Michael, back to you.
Warren, thanks very much. Matt was talking about those fires in California.
It's kind of jammed up between White Plains Road and the Sheridan Expressway, and then gets a little bit better after that. Heading over to the rails, your commuter checklist, LIRR is reporting a broken rail near Hicksville. So there are some delays. There's been 2 cancellations so far, one on the Port Jefferson branch, one on the Ronkonkoma branch. I will continue to keep you updated. Otherwise, the rails are fine. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. Still to come, a look at the 9/11 Remembrance ceremonies being held across our area.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. Most of you are still in for a nice drive. I don't have any major accidents to report on. The only places we're seeing delays, it's Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. Otherwise, really, the roads are moving along nicely. You still have some road work on the ramp from the Gowanus getting onto the Verrazano Bridge, causing a slowdown, although delays are starting to ease out. They should be wrapping that up momentarily. Then LIRR commuters, though. There are some delays and cancellations on the Port Jefferson and Ronkonkoma branches. There is a broken rail east of Hicksville. So far, they've only canceled 2 trains, but just wanted to give you a heads up. Darlene and Michael, back to you.
Warren, thank you very much. Events scheduled for the skies of Manhattan today.
Plus, LIRR commuters, there are reports of a broken rail near Hicksville. So you have some delays and cancellations on the Port Jefferson and Ronkonkoma branches. Also, NJ Transit's canceled a few trains on the North Jersey coastline this morning. Heading over to the roads, you have delays on Route 8 southbound in Connecticut, getting into exit 7, some late running construction. And we'll take a live look outside at the Helix if you're headed.
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. LIRR commuters, there's a broken rail near Hicksville. So I'm seeing 1 train get canceled on the Port Jeff branch and 1 on the Ronkonkoma branch. You can see some delays as well. There's no full suspensions, but I'll continue to keep a close eye on it for you. Heading over to the roads, Route 8 southbound in Connecticut, those delays are starting to ease out as construction is clearing. It's late running though out there by exit 7. And then over on the Harlem River Drive, you have pretty heavy delays southbound getting into the RFK Triborough Bridge, right where that split happens. So just 1 lane getting by southbound onto the FDR Drive, and that always slows things down. Over on the LIE, it's quite jammed up this morning. There was an accident out here earlier that cleared, but just a crawl westbound over the Grand Central Parkway all the way through Queens Boulevard. Once you get past that, it opens up, but it's still a little slow going into the Midtown Tunnel. And here's a live look at those delays, as well as the Grand Central Parkway, which is backed up westbound because of that road work out by the Kew Gardens interchange. Alternate side of the street parking rules, they are in effect, so make sure you move your car. If Friday is on the sign, you'll need to do that today. Darlene, back to you. Thanks, Lauren. 6:48 right now. A planned 9/11 military flyover sparking a wave of controversy on social media. New York City's Emergency Management Office says an F-18 fighter jet will buzz the Hudson today at 2,500 feet. Well, Congressman Max Rose is slamming the idea and calling for the flyover to be canceled. Others on Twitter called the move tone deaf and said low-flying planes.
We're going to find out about traffic and the commute on this Friday.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning. LIRR commuters, there's a broken rail east of Hicksville, so you could see some delays and cancellations on the Port Jefferson and Ronkonkoma branches. On the roads, it's a very slow go westbound on the Belt Parkway, getting into Lefferts Boulevard, and you can see the LIE westbound and the Grand Central westbound in Queens, very backed up this morning due to congestion. Matt, how's the weather looking today?
It's going to find out.